Hey guys, Got a Kite Works, back at you with another video. Today we're going to be reassembling the transfer case for the GT4 All Trac, St185. I took this all apart the other day. I didn't record any of it, kind of boring. It was me on the teardown table and I was essentially just flipping through the book and then going back to the table and so on and so forth. So it's not a lot of great content when it comes down to it. But I'll show you what's all involved once I get to reassembling it, because disassembling is just a backwards process. So go through with our kit. We got the gasket kit. This is from Japan, right from righthanddrivejapan.com. They do great work. Always had a lot of good experiences with them. Use them all the time for stuff like this. This is just a seal kit. Because we wanted to check on the transfer case, just due to the nature of the vehicle and how it came into us. Full inspection on everything, and then if the bearings are bad I was going to replace them, but they're not, so we're just going to reseal it and go from there. You can get a full bearing kit and stuff like that from Right Hand Drive Japan as well. I opted out to do it because I have my own way of sourcing bearings. So go through the kit. We got the shifter housing seal, we got the selector seal, rod seal, the output seal, and the big output seal for the actual big drive shaft. Then we got two crush washers and two O-rings for the housings. So I'm gonna put those all together, and I'll get back to you once we're reassembling. All right, so we pretty much got all our seals installed. I'm gonna drop the differential down into it, and we're going to put the other case back on it, and we'll assemble it from there. The orientation real quick. That's this way. Yep. Alright, so we got to bolt that together in a little bit, but I got the gray on it right now, so it's going to take a while to set up, so we're good on that. What you're looking at is the diff, well, transfer case. You got the pinion head comes in here. Got a new O-ring on it. This is all good too. Comes with the shims. We're using the factory shims. You can get a shim kit for it if you are changing bearings over and some other stuff. Alright, so we got it bolted together. Decided I'd skip that part because it's honestly really boring, because there's about 20 bolts that hold this thing together. Plus me torquing it. Not exactly the most exciting thing in the world. What I got to show you was from the top. You can't really see this too well from where I was shooting before. But this is where this fork and this coupler are going to live. So we got to feed that into there. And then we got to feed, there's a rod for that fork that goes all the way down into here, into the shifter housing. And I'm going to show you guys also that it is a manually adjustable differential. Or four-wheel drive, I should say, which is very, very interesting. Not sure why Toyota did this in the first place, but it's kind of a little cool party piece that they have. So we're gonna get this bad boy coupled in there. Gotta get fork in there, and then you gotta spline this thing twice to get it all the way seated. And this is what keeps the diff locked, per se. There we go. Carburetor. There we go. That lined up with the rod. Okay. So we'll feed the rod in first, and then I'll finish feeding the rod in the rest of the way, and then do the bottom side. So this is your top, and then these are your detents for the coupler and the shift fork. So you got to phase this all correctly. Flat side goes like this, because this goes in here. See it? I gotta line it up a little bit. I did lube the seal and the passage already, so we don't have to worry about that. Yep, just like that. Got the boot on there because it comes with a boot, a little dust boot. Just takes a little bit of connector. There we go. Mostly from the shade this, so leave that right there for right now, because this is pretty much locked in. There's a bolt that goes into here, and that is accessed through this hole right here. So you pull, there's a little plug in here, and same with this. This is actually where the detent spring lives. So we're going to have to put the spring and the ball and the cap back on it. As like the last touch of the final installation. So for now we can flip it, and we'll do the housing. Let's grease up, I think, real quick. Alright, so there's a little dust boot down here, and that's for this bad boy. It doesn't actually have to seal per se, so there's no actual inner spring on the seal surface itself or anything like that. The seal in here, this is a real seal, because obviously there's oil in the passages over here, in the whole thing, so. This is the housing, and the gasket goes in the housings over there. We'll put that on last. Just makes it easier. So, what's also nice about this detent is this is splined only for one way, so you can only fit this in there one way. So you can't mess this up, which is really important. Otherwise, your detents would be off. And of course, you got your clip. So, first things first. Get this guy in position. Figure out which way it goes, slide it in, there we go. And here's the final touch. Your spring clip. Somewhat careful. There we go. So that's in there, so this ain't coming off anytime soon. So now this determines your engagement. The detents and everything else are in there. This actually bolts to this housing right here, and it's got 3 adjustable levels of engagement you can have. You can either have it fully engaged all the time, which is what it was before, and I'll probably leave it like that. You can have it somewhat engaged, and then you can have it completely disengaged, which is kind of interesting little way to do this. Burn right here, this is fully engaged, this is the way to go. Let's get this fork attached. Flip it back up and over. Oh, okay. It's splined in there. There we go. Alright. Bolt. 12. And a little bit of line. My glue wandered off, that's alright. The worst things happen. Alright, now we gotta get the fork lined up a little bit better. Right about there. Yep. I couldn't find torque specs on this, but it shouldn't matter too much because it's just a pin. So we're just going to snug it up. With the red Loctite that's in there, it should be really, really secure. Put it back down. Now this is locked in there, so this can't move at all. It's all locked in with this. We'll put the detent in once it's flipped over because it's kind of hard to do. It's not straight up and down. Alright, so it consists of plug, ball, sleeve, and a spring. And the sleeve fits over the top of the spring and the ball goes in. So the first thing you're going to do is just drop the ball in there, or on the ground. Drop the ball in there. That's in there all nice. Take this, pop that bad boy in there. We just got to put our plug in there. Put a little bit of sealant on this plug and away we go. Making pretty good progress on the GT4 so far. I got the motor torn down to I needed to, and we're just working on sealing it back up. Really clean everything over. Pretty much everything that I've taken off the motor has had a bath in the sonic cleaner, and is in the process of either being painted or plated. And we're kicking around right now, so give this thing a little bit of goop. They didn't give us an O-ring for this or anything like that. We don't have a crush washer, so we got to try to seal it a little bit. Obviously, don't put too much in there. You can use pipe sealant if you want to, like the actual tape, PT tape if you want to. I usually stay away from PT tape, just because I've seen some of it go haywire before. When it comes down to like little strands and stuff like that, I've seen it cause some ruckus in some things that I've worked on in the past. So I try to stay away from it a little bit. I gotta find the I don't know, my shorty Allen's over here, they're in my tool cart, which is not really far away, but it's too far away for me to go walk there right now. While this is rolling, so that's ready to rock. So now you got detents, so bang, boom, and then so on and so forth. Come on, last one. Gotta get this one spline. This one's a little bit difficult because you spline the inner one with the outer one before it'll clunk. There we go. So I'm gonna leave it engaged like this because that's the way it came in, and I'm imagining Zach wants to leave it locked in four-wheel drive as I would with good engagement. So put this bad boy on, and we'll pretty much be done with it, other than this little housing, but that's not too hard to do. Got that, got this little gasket, you know, real difficult stuff. Then we do have to put the inspection cover back on. I just want to take it off, take a peek in there. Originally, see how everything was looking. So we gotta put that back on. But this is essentially what the differential reassembly looks like. And just like that, it's all together. So we got the O-ring in here, with the shims for the pinion. Got this gasket over here, axle seal over there, and you got the drive shaft seal over here. In addition to the inspection cover, which I just glued on, and everything else. So, a couple of old O-rings that I'd washed up before. So this unit is ready to go back in. It'll go back in when it goes back to the trans. Got the motor over here. That's coming together. And next up on the docket, other than that, is pulling this bad boy apart and sealing it. So I got another kit for this one, and we'll go through some of the same things we did with the other one. This one's gonna get a full everything. It's gross. Gotta pull everything off of it, sonic clean everything, really clean it all up. This unit's probably not gonna get painted. Doesn't make too much sense, but it'll get cleaned completely off, just like transfer case. But yeah. Another project in the shop right now is this 240. I just bought this one. This is gonna be a bit interesting. Got it for a good deal, and it's got a 1UZ in it and a fully tub front. It's fully stripped out, really straight body, and we got some wheels to go on the front of it. It's got big Z32 calipers, but they don't fit with those little wheels that I got it on. So we got some nice FNNRC. These are 17 by 10s. These should be more than enough for the front on this thing. So another update, in case I forgot, is this 240. Came in the shop a while ago. Had some clutch engagement issues and some general leaks and stuff like that. So this is an old diff I built for it back in the day. I had to reseal it with the pinion seal. Hard to see, but he hacked this thing up pretty good. I don't know what the backstory is on it entirely, but all I know is it came to me leaking, and he asked me to fix it, which means he did something to it. Not sure what. I think the story I kind of squeezed out of him was that he left the drive shaft bolts loose in the back and beat that yoke out. So he had to source another yoke, and I don't know why it's all cut up like that, but that's how it came to me. So did that. His trans was leaking. I got it over here now, fully resealed. This is his old tail housing. He broke a bolt off for the speed sensor and then went and JB welded his on. So instead of messing with any of that, I just put a tail housing that I had sitting around, put new seal in it, split this thing completely apart, resealed it, new seals up front, including input shaft seal, and new seal in here, all that fun stuff. So that's going back in. Another thing he did, he installed a clutch not too long ago. This is an auto manual swap that he didn't know too much about. I flipped it around since, but he had the spring upside down for the throwout bearing. So the clutch fork and the throwout bearing weren't doing too much because they were just kind of floating around. So we had some clutch issues in that aspect. So I'm getting that all figured out. And then he did not have a mid plate installed on this motor. So I had to source one of those, which was a whole saga because I ordered it about 12 days ago off a guy on eBay, Ozark Drift Parts. Heard nothing but good things about him. I'm probably going to go visit him sometime soon when I go visit family down in Kansas City. But he managed to have USPS take 12 days. No shade on him. It's on USPS. 12 days. It's been 12 days, and I just got a notification today that's been delivered. 12 days for me to get a mid plate all the way from Kansas City, Kansas, up here to Wisconsin. A little bit ridiculous. So that's our shop up there right now for the most part. I got a couple more things coming in. Got to clear the rack for this. This is going away pretty soon because, like I said, I just got the mid plate in, so it'll take less than a day to get that installed with the trans and everything else that's going on with that. Then it can go bye-bye. And then we got, that's up next for the rack once we get a couple more cars in and out. Then I'll start really working on that. I got to order a bunch of stuff from Collins and some other things like that. And we'll get that all together. Another thing that's coming up between that, what involves that, is this bad boy right here. We are swapping this motor into this chassis, and I'm taking the 1UZ. That's the plan so far. Just because I think it'll be easier to sell that way. Because no offense, but I don't need that many cars. I already have 2 of the same car, and I've had multiple vehicles of the same kind quite a few times, and they kind of get boring, even though they're different iterations. So this is a naturally aspirated S13 SR that's in this thing. I swapped this thing in long enough that I can't remember how long ago. So we're going to swap this all over into this chassis, including the diff, turn this bad boy into the perfect track time, seat time car. This thing right now, I got the SR in it, and I got a 4.9 differential with a 1.5 weigh in it. So this is a really fun car to rip, and it's going to do even better in a lighter weight chassis. Not by much, but I still have an interior in this thing, so if that counts.